The next speaker is a change maker. He is working in the intersection of law, technology, and trust. I have been in many conversations, I believe yourselves as well, asking me the question and discussing whether agility is possible while we have all the regulations, while we have all the information security being in our way, so that we can be going after innovation and agility. And what's the answer? We have Professor Georgi Dimitrov giving us the secrets of how he has achieved this with Evrotrust. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the kind introduction. The moderator forgot to mention that Professor is my first name. Because my parents wanted me to be very smart. That's why they called me Professor. So thank you for this. That's me when I was young and beautiful. Now only end remained out of this. But I look like that. So I'm so thrilled to speak here among friends and people about trust, about making something very complex to make it very usable, which we made at Evrotrust. And in fact, I will tell a little bit about the history on how it happened. So that one small company with some big ideas to monetize, to make these ideas valuable, to make them happen. So from startup, it grew to scale up and now beyond. So just a few words about myself. I'm a lawyer. I know it sounds strange. I'm a lawyer, but before this life of a lawyer, I was a computer geek. When I was at school, I was, making software, of course, long ago. I don't remember. It was in the dawn, in the beginning of the development of the computers, personal computers. But I was really passionate, so then I decided to become a lawyer because it sounded more, more nice, more serious. Not such kind of engineer. Now I realize that, but this passion remained. So after being a practicing lawyer for about 25 years, this passion remained, and I decided to shift, to make my dream come true, to create another IT company, but to deal with legal issues. And Evrotrust was born out of this dream, out of this idea, and out of laziness. As a lawyer, you can imagine I was always on the run, rush. And to go to a bank for me was a nightmare. How much time it takes to a person to physically find time to drive or to walk to the bank, to queue, to wait for printing out thousands of documents, sign these documents, go back. It takes 3 to 4 hours. And what about going to a government institution? It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I hated this. And I had to do it for my clients. They wanted me to go to the institutions, to government authorities, to queue. No, it was, we thought it's much easier to make it. Let's find a way to overcome this thing. How to make this fully digital. Fully digital. So realized that as a lawyer, which wants to make technology work for this process, we should find a way to solve, like a puzzle, to solve several legal issues, which would make possible all these heavily regulated processes like government services, like banking services, non-banking financial services, leasing, telecom, to become fully digital, fully remote. It's like a puzzle of different pieces. So we knew that this is very nice, very, very good idea. We didn't know how to make it happen. We just knew that it's a very handy. We feel that there is lots of business in there. In Bulgarian, there is a special word that we have, "Ce ima dalavera." There is business inside, but we didn't know how to make it happen. So with this idea, we started with the concept that if we solve the signature, possibility to sign remotely, it will solve the whole problem. Why? Because each one of us, we are born with a paper. Everyone is born with a paper. When we thought about literacy, we are taught at school how to write, how to sign. And most of us, even as I see, most of you have the pencil, have the paper, and we write. We place our thoughts onto a sheet of paper. And now, when technologies came into being, things change. Do you know that between 2030 and 2035, the paper will disappear? This is not my thought. This is the concept of the European Commission. In this period, only 2% of the total turnover of documents will be on paper. All else, everything else will be fully digital, paperless. But for the paper, in order to have something official, something legal, to establish some rights and obligation, you need a document. So your will has to be put on a paper, and you have to sign it. Normally, this is the way it works. If it's here in the head, the law doesn't bother to regulate it, and thanks God. Because if they knew what is in my head, I don't know. So, but when it is put on a paper, it becomes legal. So we thought that by solving the problem with signatures, this will be the challenge that we have to face, and to make it remote. So we had only the idea, nothing else, nothing else. We were not aware of the potential of the technologies. We didn't have any people to make it happen. We didn't know what exactly would be the business use case. No, the business use case was felt, but the instrument, how to make it happen. And here how all starts. Two people drinking coffee at the National Theatre, the garden, just in front of the National Theatre. And that's how it starts, from my idea, let's make it happen. Yeah, it sounds good. Two lawyers, one of them with some IT, other no idea of IT. So here how it starts. And it started in a complete agile mode. When I say agile, it's even too agile than the agile waterfall concept. When you have sprints, you have people that you put small targets, you have time to reach these targets, etc., etc. But we started so agile that I cannot believe that this happened. I do not believe. Let's first find a way to first to make the technology work. Find people. Find people. I approached one very, very highly educated expert. He was working in another company. So I told him, listen, you're a good friend of mine. We know each other. We have a beautiful idea. We set up a very small company. There are no people there, only the founders. Now, would you agree to we have an idea. Can you make it happen? He said, what's the idea? I told him what's the idea. And he said, this sounds crazy. It's not possible. I said, so that's okay. If you cannot make it, that's okay. There is nothing to be ashamed of. You cannot make it, no worries. And tell an IT guy that he cannot make anything. He said, who? I cannot make it. He quit the job, moved to us with 3 times lower salary, because he was so passionate about making this happen. He also felt that there would be the Lavera, said, okay, let's move it. So we found 2 guys that were, they couldn't sleep out of this. 24 hours a day, they were at the office. 24 hours a day. Also, they said, guys, we have the idea, but we have to invest. We have to bring us the hardware, HSMs. Huh? I said, okay, what kind of HSMs? They said, don't know, we don't know. Because these HSMs were never meant to serve this purpose. And we sent a communication to the producers, and the company that was the manufacturer. And they said, guys, normally it should work, but we cannot guarantee, it's on your risk. So you buy an HSM for 60,000 euro, and what happens? We don't know what will happen. So it was fully risky enterprise. We bought 2 devices, invested from our own money, without knowing whether they will work at all. We had the idea, we had the first equipment, we have the guys that were willing to make this happen, but no idea. So for almost 1 year, they were not sleeping day and night until they find it that it can work. And then, okay, we proved to work. So then we saw, okay, but if it is something that has to be easily usable, we have to use the most widely used device, the mobile device. As you see, it is so well penetrated that it's even part of my hand, and now it's okay because it's with touch screen. While there was no touch screens, see what kind of muscles I have here on my, of chatting, of using it. We have a joke that when you wake up at night and you touch next to your head, you feel the telephone next to you. You fall asleep calmly. If you fall on the stairs and you hear the crack sound, you touch yourself. It's a rib. It's not the mobile device. We're totally bound to this, tied to this. We wake up with this. We go to bed with this. During midnight, I start. Let's see who is writing. Okay, now I can sleep. We are totally, dependent on this. Why? Because it shifts the way the society works, how people communicate. But in the same time, it's a very powerful technological tool, quite secure, easy to use. So how to make it usable from mobile, this technology, to be able to sign documents remotely from here. This was quite a challenge, again. And we found a company. You know how we found the company? You thought it's a procurement selection process. No. I know a guy. He knows a guy. Let's call the guy. Can you make it happen? He said, I don't know, but let's try. Okay, let's try. So what is the technical specification? What? What technical? I can explain to you. So, you mean there are no features listed? No? No. There is no discovery phase. There is no specification, nothing. And we were sitting day by day, explaining what we want to achieve. And I said, okay, we will start in a very agile mode. But it's not agile, it's the agile of agiles. Because there was nothing, no, runs, short, targets, nothing. It's a pure, pure passion. It's a pure dedication and true belief that you will make it happen. No any doubts. No any doubts. The concept of agile rests long before in the history of humankind, of the society. In the 6th century, there is a philosopher, famous philosopher Lao Tzu. Probably you heard that. This is the founder of Taoism. And he said a very interesting proverb that is the essence of agile. It sounds like 管技是细, le chu se wa. It's in beautiful Chinese, everyone knows it. Huh? It says that if you want to reach, to walk about 1,000 miles, you should start with the first step. You don't know how to reach this goal. It's out there. You don't know. But you should walk and you should bypass any obstacles to find a solution for every problem that comes up, appears. You should overcome it. You do not need to know the path which lies before you. You should start with a small step. And this concept, in fact, was always my driving thought that I had in my hand. Because I truly believe that whatever problem appears, it will be solved. And moreover, the whole concept, as we started it changed during the course of its development. We say, okay, we made it happen for using signatures, but not to be provided by Evrotrust. Evrotrust was meant to be a platform that will make possible other signature providers to use it, other signature providers to use it, and we can earn money out of this transaction. So it's a transactional-based model. Then, 2-3 months after the beginning, there was one company, one qualified trust service provider that was willing, provider of signatures that was willing to be sold for a very moderate amount. So we said, okay, let's buy it. Huh? 50,000 euro. So we bought it. And it totally shifted the landscape because we have to develop the qualified trust service provider that will provide services from your own platform. Then we thought, okay, why should we stop at signatures? The biggest problem of this puzzle is not only the signatures, it's the electronic identity. Okay, let's elaborate electronic identification as a concept. And that's what it happened. We just, from idea, starting again while they're developing and sweating on reaching our first task, we said, we have another task. I said, okay, let's make it the first one. No, they should go parallel. How? There are people, I don't know. You are the software developers. I'm just the the idea generator. And but still, they started. And this was not the most challenging thing. There are many things that were added. Qualified delivery. Can you imagine in your device to have to use it as a registered mail, like the one used in DHL, in Bulgarian Post, whatever service, account, but to have it digital so that you can have instant delivery of a message, like in Viber, but to have a legal value with proof of evidence that it was sent by me, delivered to you in this content. Let's make it happen. Let's put it here. All these new things were appearing during the course of development of the company and were added on the fly. It was to make this happen. It's not just a technology. And here comes the concept of regulations, because identification, signatures, deliveries, these are instruments for digital transformations. These are the legal tools for legal transformation. Yeah, there should be a technology making them work, but they should be very usable. And at the same time, this technology should be compliant with lots of beautiful regulations that we have in Europe, Lots of beautiful regulations, like regulation on electronic identification and trust services. Why the regulation of anti-money laundering? Know your customer. The regulation of protection of consumers in distant transactions. Regulation of protection of personal data. GDPR. My beloved. Your beloved, huh? You see these white hairs? These are for trying to comply with GDPR and to go through an audit from the Personal Data Protection Commission. They come to an audit. I'm telling you, beautiful sleepless nights. But how to make a technology complying with all this regulation to be easy to use from a mobile device, so that the user wouldn't be required to have any skills or knowledge how to make it happen with one click. This is something, when you put all these requirements in one basket, it's not an easy task, I can tell you. As a lawyer and as an IT guy, in fact, I'm professor in IT. I'm lawyer as a profession, but I'm professor in IT. And I can tell you, to bind these two worlds into one solution, which is compliant, legal, easy to use, with nice user experience, to have low churn rate, or quick time to market, or quick registration of the user, to make it fully remote, we had to go through many certifications from auditors, from any laboratories that have to make analysis of this. So it was quite a challenge, I can tell you. But when we started, we didn't thought that in 2 years' time we have to go through a very difficult certification from the laboratory in France. We just has to reach this point. And step by step, in a true agile mode, we reached the moment when this was born, Evrotrust was born. It became it had the first clients that believed in it. There were the banking institutions, like Société Générale, like Unicredit, who believed in this, especially Unicredit. They believed in this, and they said, guys, we will even give you money. We believe in you. You're a small Bulgarian company, but we feel the change that you're doing, and it will solve our own problems, because the bank wants to identify remotely the clients, to make them sign the contract, for give them a credit, give them credit card, open a bank account. So it was in the beginning it was even risky for such bureaucratic institutions, which are the banking institutions. They are bureaucratic because they keep our own money, your money, my money. And they have to be bureaucratic, they have to be conservative. But still, this is a disruptive technology which they believe that it works, although created by a small company in Bulgaria, by young boys and girls, smart ones, that are believers. This is the beauty of all these things. And when we made it happen, and it was implemented in many processes, like I saw here, our friend from UBB, KBC Group, ProCredit, many other companies, then suddenly it became a focus of the European Commission, which has created the regulation of how these services should work. But they heard that there is some kind of wallet that can make everything happens. Like the previous speaker said, like in The Lord of the Rings, one app to rule them all. It was one app to rule them all. You can register remotely, 24 hours a day, fully automatically, from home, immediately, without seeing anyone, operator, to start using it now, and to open a bank account in 4 o'clock in the morning. Or to apply for a government service now, in 3 o'clock in the morning. Depends on who sleeps. I'm an old person, I do not sleep too much, so I do most of the work here. But I can do it now 24/7. fully remote, wherever I am. The first client, which was which was disruptive, he was a sailor, and he identified, signed a contract, and received a credit from the middle of the Indian Ocean. And it was really smashing. Even the bank couldn't believe it happened, but it did. So nowadays, well, that time, sorry, I will turn back to this. So we were invited by the European Commission to make a showcase, to show them what we have done. This was DigiConnect. We invited to Brussels, and it was collected the whole team of DigiConnect. There were lots of people, experts, that created the regulation. They wanted to see how this regulation was objectified, how it was materialized in a practical tool, which is easy to use. So we made a 4-hour presentation. It was so, how to say, embraced. It was really interesting conversation that we had. They asked lots of questions, thousands. How you solve this issue? How solve that issue? How solve the security? How solve this? How solve that? And in 4 hours presentation, the chief, the director of DigiConnect said, "Guys, you have created our dream. It's something that we thought that it should work, but we never saw it workable, practical, working. Can you please give us your advice? What should be the future policy of the European Commission, of the European Union, if they want to create this for the European citizen?" He said, "Okay, of course we can do that." We wrote a concept document of 45 pages. There were about 10 points, suggestions, of course with all the arguments that has to be there. And you know what happens? 6 months after that, it was created the concept of the European Digital Identity Wallet, which is now in the focus of the change of the concept of digital transformation in Europe. And 9 out of these 10 suggestions, with all the motives, were literally copy-pasted as arguments from our conceptual document. So it's stunning. It's amazing that one small company from one small country, from the smallest country, most poorest country in Europe, by being brave, by being advanced, by being brave enough to make the dream come true, can make change in the whole policy of Europe. Nowadays, 1 year ago almost, it was changed, the law of the main law, which is called Regulation 910, also called ADAS, which the digital identity wallet, the concept which was realized by Evrotrust 5 years ago, now it becomes a standard. Well, everyone would have an option from their mobile device to load it with the personal data, to put, not only to say who you are, because this is my identity data, but also to put data of explaining what you are, that I'm a lawyer, that I'm chairman of board of Evrotrust, that I have a driving license, that I have a higher education, that I have a blood type 0 negative, that I'm not convicted, so that I can put everything that I want to feed directly from the government registers, to feed it to the wallet, and upon my discretion to use this data to provide it when I subscribe to the university, when I board the plane, when the police officer stops me and says, provide me your driving license, you could do it from here, from this. It should be accepted by almost everyone, banks, insurance company, government, and it's legal. You can even cross the border with this. You don't need a passport any longer, or ID card. It's the full analog of personal ID documents with proof of all the data that you have for you under your own control, fully secure, with all the protective shields, and it's legal, fully legal. So this is the next step in the advancement of the digital transformation of the society. It's a choice. No one is forced to have this wallet. It will be a choice, but if you have it in your hand, everyone must accept it. The government, the bank, the insurance company, the leasing company, the telco, they must accept it. So you can go online or offline, like you pay with Apple Pay or Google Play. You just give your data and the bank opens a bank account. You don't need to prove anything. Taxes, whether you have paid your taxes, whether you're a good or bad creditor, who are you, etc., etc. And again, with this application, you will be able to sign with qualified signature. So it is unique. It's unique revolution, or I'll say evolution. And I'm so much happy that as Evrotrust, as this company from Bulgaria, had an input and have made this process happen even in Europe. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, George. It's really amazing how an idea can become such a significant story.